up, Spurs fans, near and far, with your boy Deji Spurs and your boy Sean from Paxton Road TV. Sean, how have you been, first and foremost?
I'm fine. Unseasonably good weather in Scotland today, and yesterday I nearly melted in Edinburgh. But it's fine. Yes, looking forward to the season proper coming up next month. A week today, where our game is. Obviously, it kicks off with Dusty Man United on Friday night, and we'll see how what the stakes are come 8 o'clock on Monday night when we kick off.
Mate, I fully agree. And big up to you. Big up to everyone that's locked in, locked on. We have finally made it. Sean has just said it. We are here, people. Literally 5 days to go. And Premier League season 24-25. Remember the 5-year plan. We'll get into that later in the show today. But we can put all the dustiness behind us. I don't know about you, but the dust is borderline June. Sandstorms in the Sahara Desert. The Euros was fully dusty. And then the only thing that's kind of kept me going, Sean, I don't know if you've been following it, but this year's Olympics has been on job. I've enjoyed every minute of the Olympics. I thought the Great Britain team, we tried our best. But I'm not going to lie, the American team were going absolutely crazy in terms of basketball and some of the other games that I managed to see. Did you catch up with any of the Olympics by any chance?
To be honest, no. I mean, I had my own reasons for boycott, which we won't go into in here. But I wasn't really in. I mean, I have followed it. You can't help but follow it because it slips across your socials whether you want to be involved or not. I do believe the French lost both football finals, which is really good considering they were the home nation. So I quite enjoyed that. I believe the American basketball team have just been absolutely majestic. But then, when you pick the creme de la creme of the NBA, if you don't win the gold medal, there'll be questions asked. You know what I mean? So I'm sure it was fine. To be honest, I was probably more distracted by Wimbledon and
we had
the Open. I like the Open. So interesting few days.
Yeah, there's been a lot of sports actually this summer, to be honest, more than most. Big up Anthony Clark in the building, R709, Ghost in the building as well. Big up to you, locked in, locked on. It's going to be a massive show today, mate, because we're going to be dissecting and preparing everyone. And also, we're going to be giving you our predictions for our beloved club today. It's all popping off. And let's get into it, Sean, quickly. I want us to start slow and then we build up the momentum, So let's deal with our last preseason game. Forget all that crap after that and then really get into what we know, what we're going to be seeing from our club and our starting lineup and everyone. Big up Destiny as well in the building. So last season game, we played, but it was a bit odd because we played Bayern Munich out in South Korea and then we played Bayern Munich at home. And I was like, with all the teams there are in world football, we couldn't find another opposition. What was that all about? Why are we playing Bayern Munich? Because I know Kane had nothing to do with that factor, although it was nice to see Kane back and it was nice with the way they kind of give him his presentation, the way that the fans received him on the weekend. I think he deserved that because the way he left, it felt like he was unsure whether the club still loved him, which I thought was a bit sad and a bit of a shame. Why wouldn't we love him? He's been a legend. We had no reason to not like him or to hate him. He had to go on and think about his career, think about, the legacy that he wants to leave. So, I don't know, from that standpoint, and it was so nice of him to remove the captain armband. I just thought it's not that deep. It's a bloody Mickey Mouse trophy pre-season. I don't think any Spurs fans would have begrudged him whether he picked up the trophy or not. I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts, Sean, with all of that and the Kane stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, like you, I thought it was quite classy of him, of Kane. To be fair, he didn't really want, he didn't want. He just wanted to sort of tarnish the memories. And Neuer, in the end, I think Neuer picked up the trophy, so that was fair enough. But it was a nice touch. I think the I think the game at our place was organised before the one in South Korea. So the South Korea one was, I don't know how that came about. It's obviously, that seems to be an afterthought. That maybe there wasn't so many teams in the Far East. From memory.
It felt like Bayern flew out to play us and then came back.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, they don't. I mean, as the commentator kept making the point, much to my annoyance, that they were 2 weeks behind us in training. But it was it was a bit alarming. But I'm over that now. Yeah, that was a nice touch. Good that he got to say goodbye. I mean, even if you think back to a year ago when he left, remember there was this like shenanigans that Spurs wouldn't let him get on the plane, so he'd gone out to Stansted to get the plane. And then they said, "Oh no, you can't let you go." So the story I heard was that he was actually at some relatives, either of his or his wife, in Essex somewhere, deepest Essex, waiting for the and that's where he recorded that to video, to camera departure message to us all.
Oh,
and I think he never felt that was really what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? I'm sure he would have preferred to, give us a wave and what have you. And, it was good. What I loved about them, the fact that he came on, he got a nice clap on the back by Romero, who then clattered into him about 2 minutes later. Remember this from Hotspur Way, Harry,
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, they let him know that there's no sentimentality, nothing rests anymore. You've gone, and I love the fact that on a totally unconnected thing. I love the fact that Romero and Bentancur, who just turned up at training when it all kicked off with Lancashire and Moore, was straight over there defending their young boys. And I just thought that's a club mentality. That's a building that kind of like them versus us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
And I felt really good about that. I mean, I must admit at half time I was a bit concerned, but then I looked at it and we had only one of our first choice back four playing in that first half.
Yeah, of course.
Spence is no way is he a left back.
No, we know that.
He's so right-footed, it was untrue. And he was getting done at the back post, and that's how two of the goals came about. Yeah. Game started well enough. He scored with 28 seconds, and they haven't touched the ball.
Yeah,
that was very good. But yeah, I mean, it's all about putting minutes in the legs. And some players have got to, some players are grabbing their opportunity, and others, I mean, I think we've had this discussion offline about Bergvall versus Maddison. You know what I mean? So it's
Bergvall's got to start.
It's interesting, but it's like, I mean, it's just a pre-season friendly, a nice little payoff, great chance for folks to see this past hero of ours.
I agree, Sean. And I think, like you, the Romero incident made me laugh because I thought, Romero, you are a ledge in the sense you've just given him a pat on the back and then you've just made him know what's what, which is, when it comes down to football, mate, there is no bloody friendship on the pitch tonight. But then I'll have a pint with you afterwards, that kind of thing. Which is just, and I did love that pat. And I love the fact that he got the ovation. I thought it was a bit cheeky. I kind of agree with Destiny. I'm quite angry at Bayern for thinking Kane would accept the armband and want to do that, because it's like Kane is not going to be Bayern Munich captain this season. So why would you do something that's so left field? It felt a little bit cheeky from company to want to give. If he's the captain of Bayern Munich going forward this season, then by all means I understand that. But to make him captain for this game, I mean, what point are you trying to make? And I thought that was a bit below the belt. And if I saw company at a petrol station, I'll be fly kicking him in the back of his head. If those things. So I thought that was very, very rude. So I agree with Destiny here. I thought it was disrespectful. The one thing that does kind of jar me about pre-season, though, Sean,
right,
is I don't know about you. There's a lot of pros and cons with the Bayern Munich. So unlike Arsenal, I mean, Arsenal have been shaky. Arsenal fans, I have to say, are the biggest disgraces when it comes to pre-season. I've not seen anything like. I mean, these guys are Shrek-like in the way they shake their bum. Shrek. I mean, these guys are shaking their bum violently for beating a dusty Leverkusen. And then even worse, they were shaking their bum. I mean, literally twitching. I thought something was wrong with them. For Lyon, bruv. For Lyon. Because they beat Lyon at home. And the point I wanted to make is, on one hand, where it's good that you can bring in some of the new players that you're looking at. What are we learning against Bayern Munich when one of our back four is playing? Like, surely it's about rhythm, it's about the communication, the camaraderie, the connection, all of that malarkey. But you're not playing what you're gonna. Like, for me, we should have been seeing what is going to be roughly our starting lineup for the game against Leicester. That's what you do the week before. You have your rough starting lineup-ish. And that kind of mismatch of a back four, I just didn't get it. I don't know if you're catching my feng shui right now, but it's like you're wasting our time with that. Get the boys out. Let's see if they're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was what you say there would have been my initial reaction on Saturday after the game. I was like, kind of a bit, the steam coming out the ears and what have you. But I think, to be honest, when you think about three of the back four are Van de Ven, Kuti, and Udogie. Udogie's just coming back from a serious injury. He had to have an operation there 2 or 3 weeks before the end of the season. And the other two just had turned up at Hotspur Way on Monday or Tuesday. So I don't know whether you throw them in because they're going to be the back four against Leicester, and play them in the first half, or whether you wait until the second half when there's there's a little bit of steam gone out of the game, if you know what I mean. There's a little bit more, and you just ease them in. And so I think, that's my judgment in sort of retrospect, is that and wanted to save them, but knows that they're going to be, make no bones about it. They're the front, the Poro, Van de Ven, Kuti, and Udogie Shaw are back. They're back on Monday at 8 o'clock. Don't you worry about that. My concerns are who's literally just in front of them. But more about that later. And then, let's see who, our new anime hero is going to hit the road running, sort of thing. I think I'm not, he did play the whole back four, but he just played them in two different arms. And I think, to be fair, in the second half, when he put Gray at right back, you could see that in a few days, Gray has won the confidence of Kuti, for example, who was not afraid to pass the ball to him when he had the ball. Obviously, they've those relationships are developing. I thought Gray had a great second half, actually. In the second half, in fact, probably him and Skip, of all people, had possibly the best of the second half. There's me thinking that poor old Skippy's down the road, but maybe his homegrown status is saving him for one more last hurrah. But anyway, and there he was, lost without his host. What has happened to my boy Deji? But the meltdowns on social media eventually have got to me this week, and I'm hoping upon hope that that we get over that and move on. There's still talk of transfers, Ange didn't shy away from spending money. When it was asked to him, he said, "Well, haven't you blown a load of your budget?" I like the fact he came back and said in the post-match press conference, "So you know how much we've got to spend, mate." So yeah, I'm sure that this will be a blip along the way, and we will see new players. Who knows? Maybe we'll get even Eberechi Eze. Who knows? Time will tell. I think it's a difficult deal to do, though, given that Palace are in a bit of turmoil at the moment. They've lost some players. People are flocking around their best players. And now their owner is saying that he wants to go and buy Everton. So who knows? Who knows? But anyway, I don't know what's happened to my boy Deji. He's the man in control too. Anyway, I'm in the show as I'm being told. Oh, I'm just looking at some of these. So my friend Artilero is looking for us to get. We're getting cooked this season. Well, maybe early on, but I think that's time will tell. We all thought we were going to get cooked this time a year ago, and we went to the Emirates and should have taken all 3 points, considering that you were the champions to be. But anyway, I love it where Artilero uses capitals all the time. He's obviously a very angry young man. I don't know who the puppets are. Maybe that's a reference to me. Anyway, good point from Jordan there. Deji's moved as quickly as Spurs' title chances last season. Oh, he's not saying anything about this season. Yeah, and Destiny's come back with a nice rejoinder. A club puppet. I wish I was a puppet.
Sean, sorry about that.
Okay, I've tried to fill in. I've been getting abuse from the comments.
Who's abusing you? Artilero. Is it Artilero?
Oh, no, Artilero. No, actually a Spurs fan. What's the point, FC? But I'm used to that right now.
Okay, no problem. Well, we'll deal with what's the point. So we'll deal with that in a moment. What's the point? If you could just let us know what your point is, instead of just sitting there naked, bashing away at the keyboard, we would want to know. Yeah? So let's get into it anyway. Apologies for that. So when I left
for the club, God, I wish I was. I'll be better off than I am now.
Big up to VJ in the building. Thank you for that as well. Sean, thank you for holding the fort. And yeah, apologies for that. You know, online, you're going to run into some technical madness. And I just went into a bit of a technical madness. But let's move forward. So, Sean, we take it, and where we left off before I got rudely disconnected was the fact that, look, we're using the preseason just to kind of get minutes in the legs. We pretty much know who our back line is going to be. Then we got the news late on Friday about Solanke. Okay. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little bit like, I think Solanke is someone who's been growing on me. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I watch his stuff. I was watching some clips from a Bournemouth fan who was basically going around Bournemouth fans asking them about their thoughts about Solanke leaving. All of them had nothing but praise for Solanke, and they were all wishing him the best of luck. And they reckon he can fit into the Postecoglou system. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I am not going to lie. I'm yet to see how he can fit into our club. However, the one thing I can say is that our club is doing what it needs to do. Arsenal fans will shake their bum violently, but even Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can see that these brothers need a striker and a midfielder, and these brothers went and got Calamari and they want to shake their bum. They had the best defense in the Prem last season, and guess what? They went and brought another defender who can play as a left centre-back or a left-back. I mean, to be honest with you, if Arsenal isn't more Spursy than Spurs, I don't know what is, because that is the most dumbest thing. But we needed a striker. Whether you like it or not, we went out and got a striker. For me, half bread is better than no bread. And I am quite excited at the signing of Solanke, because it means that Son doesn't have to play the number 9. It also means that Richarlison can have a rest. But also, what I would like to see moving forward, Sean, is let's say Son loses form or, he's injured, God forbid. I would like to see an attacking trio of Richarlison on the left, because that's where he was best at Everton and at Watford. Solanke in the middle, and then an Eze or Kulusevski, we'll deal with the right-hand side. But that could look rather interesting, in my opinion. So I guess what I'm saying to you is, are you shaking your bum violently, Sean, for the signing of Solanke?
At my age, shaking my bum is not to be advised. I might not be able to walk by the end of the week, but yeah. At 63, my days of shaking my arse are long gone, I'm afraid. But anyway, no, it's yeah. I mean, looking at Solanke, he looks like what we've needed. We've needed for a year, to be fair. And what's won me over? I don't know if you've seen this video on 442, and guys been singing praises like you. I've seen a lot of the Bournemouth fans wishing him well, saying what a good player he is, how they're going to miss him and things like that. I think Iraola, who's the coach at Bournemouth, plays in a similar style, a high press style. And that's one thing that we've got to do. That's one thing that was missing from last Saturday, for example, was the press, the lack of a press, And I think, he's on his metrics. I'm not a big stats fan because I'm too old for that kind of garbage. He does the job that Ange wants, which is, puts defenders under pressure. A number of goals he scored where the defence just basically gifted him the goal last year. So I'm expecting a few of those. And I'm quite excited. I might not be able to twerk like Beyonce, but I'm certainly shaking my fist here in a old punk style.
Yeah, no, Sean, I love that kind of level-headed kind of answer. For me, I think Solanke could be a surprise package. And obviously, as you do, one of the things I didn't want to do is I didn't want to jump on the hype train. I wanted to kind of see for myself. I had my own views about Solanke. I said, when he was up against our defense, he didn't really do much. But let's be real, who can do much against the defense of Romero and Van de Ven? Arguably, I reckon Van de Ven and Romero, if fit, untouched, could really rival the Gabriel Morales and Saliba partnership, in my opinion. Even Arsenal fans have to admit they would accept Van de Ven in their squad. Do you know what I mean? In their back line, they wouldn't turn their nose to it. They wouldn't turn their nose to Udogie. Do you know what I mean? And which fills me with pleasure. The one thing that I noticed, though, there were two things that I liked about Solanke, and I think this is what won him over for Ange Postecoglou. The first thing was the fact that obviously he was a Chelsea graduate. He was over at Liverpool, and you can almost argue he fell from grace. Falling from Liverpool and dropping deep. I know another player who, similar age, similar vein, Ryan Brewster, who kind of went there at Liverpool, he, loved by Klopp, and then he's been at Sheffield United, but really hasn't really reached his full potential. I think Ryan Brewster is a deadly striker, but not quite done it the way that he knows he can do at Sheffield United. But he's gone to Bournemouth and he got 19 goals last season, which is not to be sniffed at. The other thing, though, I have to big up Solanke for is this brother is into anime. This guy is a big fan of Naruto. He's a big fan of all those anime things. And unlike some of these other cronies who we're going to be speaking about later, shaking their bum on a yacht in Ibiza, Miami, doing that sort of stuff. Do you know where Solanke spent his summer, Sean?
No, where did Solanke go to?
I'm happy to educate you. This brother went out to Japan. He spent the summer in Japan on his own, getting to know the culture. And you already know Postecoglou and that side of the world, the fact that he wasn't out in Ibiza, wasn't in the usual spots you'd find these players, Miami Beach, all of that rubbish. He was doing a nice cultural Japanese tour, I think that pulled to the heartstrings of Postecoglou. Say, if you've got the presence of mind to go out to Japan, spend the summer there, learn the culture, you might be the type of lad that I want at my club. And I just thought, that's so interesting. It was quite random. I didn't know he was big into anime like that. It was only when you go on his Instagram and you see that's why they had the orange mask by the Spurs shirt when they were kind of releasing him. Is all of that stuff going on. I thought, yeah, that is very, very interesting. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just thought those were the things there that might have just edged it for Postecoglou. Any thoughts on that?
You know, I mean, certainly, I think for whatever, you know, every time I've read, you know, about Postecoglou, he has a lot of empathy with the Japanese way of life, which he obviously experienced firsthand at Yokohama. But I think the key thing is the telephone call, is the Zoom call, is the, you know, and if it's how he answers that question: do you want to come to Tottenham Hotspur? And I think that's key. He'd rather have a player who's, you know, he, as he said himself, there's not much difference between top quality and quality.
Yeah.
But I want a player that wants to come to us. And I think Solanke was at that stage where he said, you know, I was at Chelsea, I was at Liverpool, you know, traditionally top 6 sides, whatever. This is my chance. You know, the manager's making me feel good. I'm getting on with him. He's getting on with me. This is a chance to go. So that, you know, hopefully the deal gets done. And obviously the deal has been done at 55 million plus 10 million in add-ons.
Yeah.
Makes him our record signing, but you know, we're not yet at the stage of spending, you know, 100 million on the players. No. So let's you know, this is all a building process, and you know, it improves our squad, no doubt.
Exactly, it improves our squad, and everyone in the chat, don't worry. I'm after this segment, I'm going to be getting into the chats because I see a lot of comments, and I think we need to unpick a lot of the stuff in the chat, and then we're going to move forward and carry on with the conversation. The only thing that I would say, and look, but let's not get it twisted, people. I am not a Levy supporter per se, but I'm somebody who is, I like for us to be fair as fans. For me, you know, people kept telling me, is Levy going to back the manager in the summer? Is he going to back him, blah, blah, blah. And I think we're yet to confirm whether Levy fully backed Postecoglou. But in spending 65 mil, I remember saying before the end of last season, if we've got to spend slightly over the odds to get what we need, then by all means, I need to be seeing Levy do it. I fully agree. I don't think Solanke's worth 65 mil, but we needed a striker, and that's what it was going to cost to get one in. Levy gave us the Muli, he gave us the Mula, he gave us the pound sterling and the euros to get it done. And so we got to give the man props for it. I'm not shaking my bum for Levy at all, but it was an area that we needed to fill, and we've done it. Unlike our rivals Arsenal, who Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can see that they need a striker, and they've not brought one in yet. So we've got to give my brother Levy props for that. I'm going to give him props for getting this done. Whether Solanke goes on and does what he needs to do, we will see. But I rate that 100%. Sean, are you in agreement? And then we'll get.
Yeah, I think you know, you spend 40. You know, you make Gray the most expensive 18-year-old in English football history. You buy Solanke as a striker. You've obviously done a bit of advanced recruitment with Bergvall being bought in February, wherever it was. We've got the Korean kid turning up in January. You know, additions are being made. I think this was. Remember that summer where Arsenal had to burn Ozil and all those other players, basically. This is our summer for that. This is us burning contract. We burn, you know, Tanguy. We burn, you know, all the players that have gone out. I think we've got something like 9 players out since Postecoglou turned up.
Yeah, 9.
And that was, you know, so long overdue. I mean, so long overdue. I mean, our you know, if you're going to have a criticism of Levy, and this is my criticism of Levy, was that he was smitten by Mourinho. Yeah. And he lost, when things were a bit hairy for Pochettino, rather than attending to the team, he decided to get rid of Pochettino and get in, Mourinho, who he'd wanted since 2007, let's be honest. He tried to get him before he went to Real or wherever it was he went to after Chelsea the first time. So let's not, so if you want to blame Levy, that's the point at which you blame him.
Yeah.
And then he just added to that nonsense by further recruitment and oh god, to that point where we're having that meltdown with Conte in the conference room at Southampton. You know what I mean? So I think we're in the burning of contracts summer. So a lot of players are going. Some, there's still 3 to go. I'd say Reguilon needs gone. Celso needs a new home. Yeah. It's not worked out for him. And obviously, I would say Solomon will probably be gone as well. Yeah. So and there's a lot of players been sent out on loan. There's been a few sales. And I'm happier with the squad that we're growing. Whether it's going to make us a top 4 side, I'm not quite certain. I think we'll stay where we are, maybe 5, 6. But I do think give us a cup competition. Yeah, I think we'll be in the shake-up for one of them this year.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I hear that, and we're going to get into that. So look, I want to get into the chat as well. There's been a lot of comments coming thick and fast, and I think it's so important today that we really deal with some of the comments that have come in, and then we'll move on to talk about what more we need to do. Because I'm not going to lie to you, Sean. Solanke is good, but if that is the only signing, if that is our last signing for the summer, then I have to say it's one of the justiest summer signings we've had in the main. Because let's be real, the South Korean kid, we don't really know him, so you can't shake your bum. Archie Gray is a kid, so you can't shake your bum. Berval is an unknown, you can't shake your bum. Solanke, there's no bum shaking, and I think if you're a top 6 side, you've got to shake your bum. Chelsea is shaking their bum violently for Neto right now, even though we know Neto have 15 games.
But look at the news today, Deji, about Chelsea.
What's happening?
The deal for Conor Gallagher is off.
No way!
My God, can you believe it? They buy Neto to replace Gallagher, and the deal seems to be falling down.
It's so dumb.
Oh my God!
FFP,
dusty.
Headlights here. But let's get into it though, and we'll talk about Neto and the dusty Chelsea team. Jay Greens is saying we should watch out for West Ham. They look like they're cooking. I don't think they're cooking. The reason why, I think on the face of it, it looks like West Ham are doing good business, and they are. But you've got to understand, West Ham is one of the justiest teams we have in the Prem. They are used to playing dusty football. This new manager, Lakapegi, you know how to say his name, West Ham fans, more than I do.
Lopetegui.
Is trying to bring a West Ham team that can actually play some football. That's going to take time. I don't even think the West Ham fans can even handle the high blood pressure that their team will be able to string 3 passes. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, we've done a whole pass in a row without being intercepted. Somebody stop. And for that reason, I don't think West Ham, although Bowen is good, Kudos is good, Paqueta is good, I don't think mentally they're ready for the shift. So I don't think they're going to do anything this season. But if they can use this season as their test and learn season, West Ham could be a force to be reckoned with in the next couple of years. At least push for Europa League finish in the league. But do I see West Ham as a dark horse this season? No. Am I going to have West Ham in the top 6 this season? No. Sean, I don't know. Any quick comments on West Ham? We don't really give a damn about them, to be honest, but I think it's only fair that we answer this question.
Well, we don't call the games against us their cup final for no reason, is it? I mean, they love to play us, but we don't really care about them. But I think they seem to have got some good individuals, and Kudos is a great a great signing.
That's the sort of player.
But there is a big paquet-sized cloud hanging over that club.
Yeah.
Is he going to face the music for his little, his dalliance with their booking shots? If he could pass a betting shot as well as he could play a football, maybe he'd be in a better place. But I'm not sure. I think they're a new team, a new manager trying to bring a new philosophy, and I'm not sure that 31-year-old Fulkrug is the answer to their goal scoring issues.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to just basically plot the ball on his head, and it'll be like Route 1 football, which he's buying a whole load of ball players, but he's got a striker who relies on a big hoof up the field. So to me, there's a bit of a mismatch there in terms of recruitment. Time will tell, though. Time will tell. They've got some great individuals. I love Bowen. Looks like he's going to be club captain, so he'll take that responsibility. Yeah. Todibo, someone's already put that on. Is an incredible signing. Yeah. But I think it's just on loan, and it's just till Man United can actually buy him. Because they couldn't buy him from his previous club because the owners of that were Ineos, and they're also the owners of Man United. So they're trying to obviously do a deal to get rid of their French partners. But so he's only there for one season. So enjoy him, West Ham. Enjoy him while you got him. He ain't hanging around.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, West Ham is damned if they do, damned if they don't. If he does a good job, so one of the big six, one of the ones who felt like an Eric Ten Hag, could be replaced by this fella. So you out there shake your bums, West Ham, but you are still minnows to us all. Just answering this, Mr. Post Office, was Kane worried about going anaplectic if he touched the trophy? The answer is he was showing respect for my club. He loves Tottenham, but because of you and the fan base, rival fan base, putting this thing on having to win a trophy, it made common sense for him to go Bayern Munich. But the truth is, he loves our club and he wants to come back to our club, and that is a man of class. 007 star, very classy guy. And we love Kane for it. Big up. You only wish an Arsenal player would have done that. Granit Xhaka, had he won, had Leverkusen slapped you guys up in your gaff, he would have been shaking his bum violently in front of the crowd. Remember Adebayor, the way he celebrated in front of you lads? That's what you guys get. Unclassy players. We have a club legend in Harry Kane, statues for him outside of our club. And yes, Destiny, I would have been fly kicking Vincent Kompany in the petrol station in the back of his Beanhead, and also I won't be catching any hamstrings, Artillero. Just so you know, if me and you were to be on the pitch, I would flip-flap you inside out, that you would rip your shorts, literally rip your shorts. Mr. Post Office has asked, why does he say club? Because, mate, when I say club, it hasn't got the same impact, mate. I love my club. I love Tottenham Hotspur, mate, and I love what we're doing. So get on the bandwagon. Talk about your club. Is your club going to do anything this season? We want to know. Now, Jay Greens is calling us out, Sean. He's saying, can't wait for the end of September to see you soon. No, it's Jay Greens, bring it on. We don't give a damn about you. One of the things, Sean, let's talk about September. These Arsenal fans need to be showing our club some respect. Let me tell you why. Normally, when we're playing this dusty team, Arsenal, we've always got some sort of injury. And I've always said to myself, especially last season, I want to play Arsenal at the beginning of the season. Bun all this playing them in November rubbish. Bun all this playing them in March. Let's play these cronies right now when it's nice and early. And I am delighted. The fixture gods have been on our side. Arsenal is our fourth game this season. The other thing, Sean, I want to ask you though real quick. Did you know that this is the first time, and I'm looking in the chat, maybe someone can correct me, that Arsenal come to Spurs first?
Look,
Is that true?
It is a long time since they came to us first game. In fact, even their head honcho Don Robbie was mentioning that on his channel, that he was very surprised that
Mate.
is us first. So yeah, fair enough.
You know why? Because Arsenal, same old Arsenal, always cheating. They needed to have the first game at their gaff in order to have their senses right. Now, how are they going to respond coming to our gaff, 4th game of the season, and hopefully, fingers crossed, with no injury? We're literally going to have our starting 11. I can't bloody wait. It won't be Ben Davis. It will be Udogie on the left. I can't wait. Sean, comments there. Are we looking forward to September?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was September when we went to their gap last season, and you know, anyone who wasn't blinkered would have known that we should have taken. In the end, we should have taken the 3 points there. We let them have a point. Not that it did them much good, because how many did they lose the league by? I can't remember now. It's a couple of points, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so they're you know, I'm not worried about it. To be fair, they may well be a stage ahead of us. It's been a bit painful to go to the North London derby these last couple of seasons, but it's not. You know, I'm not worried about it. We're in different development phases, and as you and I know, there's a big shock coming at the top of the Arsenal management team before Christmas.
Yes, and I can't wait. And I'm not going to lie, Sean called it during the summer before they'd even kicked the ball. But we're not going to let that. We will reveal all in good time the big shock. But I think anyone who knows football will know what the shock that we're expected to see be before Christmas. I got a comment here. I think it was from Anthony Clark. You were shaking your bum then for to sign Neto, Tony, and Eze. Where are they? Deji. Well, we got Solanke instead of Tony, so that's our Tony. Neto is a bit of a. I'm not gonna lie, I do like Neto, but he's a bit of a dummy, to be honest. He signed a 7-year contract to go and sit at the bench because he's not starting for Chelsea. And let's be real,
15 games a season.
He does 15
games a season. It's all you get out of Neto.
That's why would you spend 50 odd mil and sign a 7-year contract for someone that's going to play less games than the NFL league season? I mean, that is just dustier than Tutankhamun. So for me, and can I just be also honest? You guys don't understand my club. Jordan says we need a right winger. I think we've been focused on Eze from the start. Don't be surprised. Postecoglou came out to say we ain't finished in the transfer window. I think we get Eze over the line. Because I don't know if you've noticed, Sean, and everyone in the chat, but Crystal Palace are trying to bring back Zaha. The reason why these brothers are trying to bring back Zaha is so that they can release Eze to my club. So if that happens, I think that would make logical sense, because Eze, for me, and Zaha are quite similar in terms of their presence on the pitch. And I'm hoping we'll get that over the line. Obviously, you'd rather have Udogie than Spence at left back. Udogie is our number 1 left back. Spence was just tried there. I don't think we'll ever see him there again. And Ben Davis, if we really, really have to scrape the barrel, we'll have to go left back this season. And then Sean, Artillero shaking his bum, sitting there in his underwear, bashing away at the keyboard, is saying that he can't wait for us to get cooked this season. I can't wait for you to get cooked this season, my brother. Don't go running away. Don't go hiding. Me and Sean, we're here. We want this. Yeah? Come and find us. Come and find us. We are, you know what? I can't wait for this dusty Arsenal team shaking their bum with no striker because they beat Lyon and a dusty Leverkusen team that is 2 weeks from their season starting. Are you dumb? Get out of my face. Caleb is saying that Bergvall looked good. If you've been following Sean long enough, Sean has gone as far as to say Bergvall over Madders. Are you still sticking with that, Sean? Are you wanting?
Well, I would imagine that we're going to start with Maddison, but I tell you what, he's going to have to buck up his ideas, because the Swedish boy is coming for him. You know what I mean? And once he's got the shirt, I don't see. Yeah,
well, I hope so. I hope Bergvall, he's looking the treat. The other thing in talking about the preseason thing is that now that we've bought a striker, this playing Kulusevski in the false nine ain't going to happen, according to Postecoglou, which goes back to what is the point in doing something or playing a style of play that ain't going to happen. Callum Roach has said, easy, Deji. They're all coming back from their holidays. I get that, but we should still play with some sort of, with something that makes sense. I guess Richarlison's been injured and is still coming back to fitness, so he's got to do what he's got to do. But I just don't like us playing a system that we're not going to employ in the season. What is the point of that? Jay Green says, what if Spurs finish 6th? Is it big orange out? We're going to get into that, actually, Jay Greens. We're not going to answer that question just yet, but I'm going to hold that thought because I am going to ask you, Sean, what does success look like for us this season? And then what's the point says, yes, because you are a club puppet yourself.
Yeah, that's aimed at me. That was when you were away.
We're not. Sean is not a club puppet, mate. This is my brother right here. Do you get me? What I'm saying for you is we don't give a damn about Daniel Levy. We don't get paid for any of this crap. What we want to see, what's the point, is our club do well. What we don't want, what's the point, is you sitting there in your underwear, bashing away at the keyboard, pretending that you're Sava. Yeah, negative, negative, negative. We don't need negativity. We want our club to progress, because if Solanke scores 30-odd goals, 50 goals, wins us the FA Cup, you be the same person shaking your bum. And even me, I wouldn't shake my bum for the FA Cup, but you would. Do you know what I'm saying? So hush your gums, calm yourself down. At the end of the day, Levy is spending. If he wasn't spending, then you would have an argument. But he's spending. Whether you like it or not, that's another story. Whether he's going to spend 100 mil on a player, that's another story. But are we buying in the positions that need to be filled? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And we are leaving room for the academy. Yes, what is the point of having an academy system if you can't bring players through? Come on, my guy. Come on, calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Show some love to our club. Yeah, big up Gaming for Life. Artillero, I got my Wi-Fi, mate, from your bloody house, mate. Yeah, streaming from your bloody yard. About my Wi-Fi. What about your Wi-Fi? On your Wi-Fi, we can't see your face. How about that? Whenever you try to stream, it's a blackout, mate, because your Wi-Fi is so weak, Artillero. Don't go hiding. Don't go hiding. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm trying to get through all the comments. Big up also to my guy, Oregon Gooner, with the super chat, massive donation. He says for your mental therapy sessions coming up. I have to say, Sean, if you haven't been on it, the American Idiot Show on a Friday, big up to him and TJ Warren. I had to chop them up on Saturday. I had to chop them brothers down. These American Arsenal fans shaking their bum violently for pre-season games. They got chopped up, but big up to them. Hopefully, I'll be joining them soon. And he says he had one good season at Bournemouth. I don't give a damn if he had half a good season. Half bread is better than no bread. And big up to everyone that is locked in, locked on at the moment. I will be trying to get through as many comments as I can. So Roland says this. Let me just pick up on Roland's point, and then we'll move forward. He says, of course, Deji Spurs won't understand why Arsenal got another defender. No surprises there. Thinking like Spurs. Roland DeVos. Let me just say it again one last time. The whole point, let me ask Sean, the whole point of bringing in players pre-season or bringing in players to a club is to do what?
To improve your team.
To improve your team. Yeah? You don't need to be a rocket scientist to work that out. Now, Arsenal, whether we like it or not, Sean, was the second best team in the league last year. We have to accept
best defense in the league last year.
Best defense, which means there was no one better. However, the defense wasn't an issue for Arsenal last season. We can argue that because they were the best. The issue was attack. The issue was striker and maybe a decent partner for Basmati Rice. We and Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder can see what Arsenal need. Now, for me, I don't know about you, but the priority for Arsenal would be, let me go out and get a striker. No, Roland, because I don't know what you're seeing there with your Ray Charles sunglasses on. You are telling me that you prefer to have a defender than a striker. That is why I will never understand the Arsenal fan base. You lot deserve to finish second with no trophy, because you guys are not about that life. You guys are quite happy finishing second with nothing.
And let's be honest, that is Arsenal thinking, because it was Arsene Wenger who invented the top 4 trophy.
Oh,
in the end, he knew he couldn't win the league again.
It's crazy. These brothers.
Honestly, it's unbelievable. It's honestly, what I'm getting here is George Graham vibes. Mr. Brown envelopes himself. You know, give me a backhander and I'll maybe sign you. Unbelievable idea.
It's crazy.
You've got your defence sorted.
Get a striker.
Get
a striker. Win the league even. Get a striker. Win the league. But these cronies.
I'm preparing myself mentally for them to win the league, and then I'm going, why? Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Because they're not going to do it.
Let me let you laugh at what the Arsenal fans have been telling me. We want to strengthen our defence.
Make it.
These guys are the strongest defence, and they just want to make it stronger. I'm done. You know what? When it comes to Arsenal, I am done with this team. Honestly, these men are not serious. But anyway, let them do what they're doing. We keep doing what we're doing. And I don't mind the fact that Arsenal fans don't respect our signings. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised. Just like the rest of the league was pleasantly surprised about Udogie, they were pleasantly surprised about Van der Ven. I think some of these players, Bergwijn, Solanke, could surprise the rest of the league. And VJ agrees with me. He says, Solanke, good he is. Sean, what more do we need to do? Are you satisfied with the business we've done so far? You've talked about Archie Gray, most expensive youth signing. You've talked about Solanke, striker signing, our biggest spend so far at Spurs. You know, we've got Bergwijn coming into the 4. You happy with the business?
The business we've done so far, but there are always, listen to this, Arsenal fans, there are always bits of your team that need improving.
Yeah.
And what for Ansball to work successfully, you need wingers with chalk dust on their boots who are able to get to the byline and stick the ball either on the edge of the 6-yard box or the back of the goal area, the penalty box, for an oncoming midfielder to crash it into the net. That's how he scored. Do you know Fiorucci, the young Japanese kid up at Celtic?
Yeah,
he touched the ball 14 times per game for Ange at Celtic. 14 times per game, but he was scoring 25, 30 goals.
Madness.
Absolute madness. You know, so it's not rocket science. We need pace and athleticism on the wings.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's Eze, I'm not sure. Eze plays a bit of a 10 rather than a winger, but you know, someone like a
Neto.
Someone like a Neto maybe, or the PSV kid, Yoko, is it? Yeah. You know, someone like that. And obviously, a Nico Williams would have been brilliant. Or you know, we're in the era of your Yamin Lamal now. You know what I mean? That kind of talent. You know, I mean, they're obviously not. They're not coming to us in our wildest dreams. But that's the kind of player that we need. In the meantime, we've got some great kids coming through. And big up to my club, 17-year-old Mikey Moore, new contract, 3 years.
Yeah, big up. And it's about bloody time. It's been ages. It's been an age. I started to think like we didn't have an academy system anymore, but big up for them signing because he does look like a talent. We've been linked with Hudson-Odoi Would you be excited by Hudson-Odoi, or is he a potential Sancho in the making? And that's not disrespect to Sancho, you know, it's a hit and miss. He might come to our club and do something, he might not. But Hudson-Odoi, would that be all right?
Hudson-Odoi. I'm not really certain on that one, but the other player I like is Gibbs White.
Yeah, I like
Gibbs White. I mean, I think I saw him as an 18-year-old absolutely terrorise us at Molyneux one season in a game that we were strolling, and then eventually only won 3-2 because he won 2 penalties over a very dusty 1-4 that night. You know what I mean? But you know, whether these players are going to come into us, I don't know. I mean, the window seems to be speeding up. Players are arriving. Players are not going, whether they're expecting them to be gone. Conor Gallagher, the latest, or for old dusty Chelsea.
I'm going with that. Yep.
Yeah. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, I do expect. I mean, what I liked about Postecoglou post-match on Saturday, he said some journalist put it to him. Oh, so you burned a big hole in your budget this summer, and he just goes, "So you know our budget, mate." You know what I mean? He just shot him down. So I expect players to come in. I expect players to go out. And let's wait. You know, let's see what happens. Yeah, because the window doesn't close for a couple of weeks yet. Let's see what we've got by Monday, and then let's see what we've got come September the 15th, circled on the calendar.
Big up. But as it stands, just hypothetically speaking, if this was it, would you be satisfied?
I think it would be a holding pattern. It would be a holding pattern. I don't think we wouldn't go into the season like we did last year. But I do think we could. We'll be there or thereabouts around the top 6. So that's all I can ask for at the moment until we get all our players in. But yeah, I'm not overly concerned. We'll have our proper back four for the first time come Monday night. So yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's it. Big up to you. I'm just catching up with the chat. There's a lot of banter going on between Artillero and some of the Spurs fans in here. Let's try and keep the comments respectful, everybody, and Artillero in particular, because you can be a bit crazy sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. But let's kind of get into it. For me, I'm not satisfied with the transfer window, but that's only because of my own ignorance. What I mean by, when we brought in Van der Ven, I was like, who? When we brought in Udogie, I was like, who? Do you get what I'm saying? But they turned out to be world beaters, in my opinion. I think Udogie will be the best left back. He's almost got Ashley Cole. He gives me Ashley Cole vibes, but our club, definitely an upgrade on Danny Rose, who I thought is a legend for me. I thought he's one of the best left backs in recent years at our club. So I get Ashley Cole vibes from Udogie. In terms of Van der Ven, I think everyone, rival fans are talking about him potentially being Real Madrid-esque. I know Romero, they like Romero. They think Romero is going to be the new, Sergio Ramos. But I think Van der Ven has shown the qualities to play for Real Madrid. But I just think because we don't know these players, they're unknown. Bergwijn still new. It's been pre-season. Can he do that against Leicester? I want to see him turn Leicester inside out like Kylie Minogue. I want to see Bergwijn take the game in the scruff of the net, turn Basmati rice into mushy peas, that sort of thing. When I start to see that, then I will start to be a little bit more excited. What I am happy with is we've got a striker. And I think I'm more happy about the Solanke signing because of the option it gives. I think Richarlison's at his best, not in the number 9, but coming off the left-hand side. And I would like to see Richarlison on the left, Solanke in the middle, and Son on the right. I don't know why we don't play Son on the right. The guy is 100% left-footed and 100% right-footed. It means he can do both. So let's see some changes. Let's see some dynamics. Sean is not 100% convinced by having Son on the left. Is that you not convinced, Sean?
No. Son is the left. Put Son back out on the left. We've got, pull it. Make sure he gets his substitution on 60 minutes or 75 minutes. Bring on Timo to finish off a tiring defence. and set up a few chances for Solanke late on, a few late goals. Always like a last minute goal. Always like a last minute goal, particularly if it turns out to be a winner. So yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy that the depth is the depth, which is what we were calling out for last season. Because once the first 11 were decimated by suspension, by injury, look what we were forced to play. And a big salute to Emerson Royale, who's now gone off to get his dream job as the right back at AC Milan. So he'll swap our bench for their bench, and I'm sure he'll be very happy.
Yeah, no, 100%. So look, there's one thing that was kind of bothering me and Sean, and when we were not streaming, we are in constant communication. Catch us at the game next weekend at the Spurs Stadium, locked in, locked on, and we'll get into that later in the week about us going down there and having the VIP treatment. We'll be sitting down with Daniel Levy and Postecoglou as well next week. That is a bit of a joke, but I wouldn't mind going into the dressing room and having a convo with the lads before kickoff. But look, I was having an argument, and I'm looking to the chat to see if everyone agrees. And I was speaking to, I think it was TJ Warren and Oregon Gooner. Big up to them on the American Idiot Show. If our midfield were playing at full capacity, and I know it's about ifs, buts, and maybes, Bissouma, for me, would be one of the best number 6s in the league. He would be untouchable if he played at his full capacity. But I've had concerns about Bissouma since I watched him on Kick Game. This brother is more interested in buying trainers than he is interested in kicking ball. And I laid this criticism at Bissouma, and I hope he sees this vid. Because I'm laying this criticism not to pull you down, but to make you wake up. That this stuff you're doing behind the scenes, that na make it. And I got sent a message by Sean where this brother is smoking some bush last night up in the club. And I have to say, a week before the season starts, if that's what you're doing, he was dusty in the Bayern Munich game. You did nothing. And we've been wondering and scratching our head as to why you're not performing. And I get it now. You are more concerned about Louis Vuittons and Prada shoes. You want to shake your bum. You want to paint your Lamborghini gold. And no one's saying you can't spend the money that you're making. But there is a little bit of an obber in you. Let's be real. You remind me of Aubameyang. Do you get what I'm saying? More concerned about shiny things than kicking a bloody football. And those antics yesterday it was an utter disgrace. Now, for me, if you're not going to fix up Bissouma, get out of my club. Because I can't rep you no more. I want the Bissouma back that was at Brighton and that was tearing up the Emirates. That's what I want back. What I'm seeing right now is a brother that I can take on 1v1 in the streets, right outside my yard. And you ain't going to do nothing, bro. I'm going to skin you inside out for free. I ain't even being paid. And you're getting, 80, 90 grand a week to do what? Waste my time. Get out of my face. S'il vous plaît, because I know you understand that because you're French. S'il vous plaît. Fix up or get out. Now, Sean, what are we saying? Because for me, I feel like I've been let down by Bissouma. He's mugged us off. I don't know how much we're paying him, but smoking, hitting this pipe, getting high, I don't think he's not representing the club well, man, and that's not what Postecoglou wants to see. Do you agree?
It's not just that he's not representing the club well; he's not representing himself well. I mean, this is a guy signs all his social media "Son of God," Son of God. Now, I don't have a religious thing, but fair enough. If players have that, that's all well and good. That's their own thing. What Son of God is on hippie crack in the back of a motor, filming it on Snapchat, which is the most lethally open social media in the world, for it to be broadcast in front of the world the evening after he's turned in a crap performance against Bayern Munich, which is where this is all emerged from. Now that I like Bissouma the footballer, but he arrived at us under a big black cloud. There was a sexual assault case hanging over him when he arrived. Mm-hmm. He got off of that, but he to me, there's too much of the party boy. Too much of the party boy. And I think, he was given a lot of responsibility by Postecoglou last summer. He said, I see you as a leader of these young players. And what does he do? The next day, he turns up late, claiming he got a flat tire. I mean, like you said, you probably know more than me because you're obviously living in the south. The word goes around the grapevine.
Yeah,
he's too much of a party boy.
He's up in the club. People see him up. I know people who see him up in the club week in, week out.
Yeah, and even there was that little video with him and Emerson Royale when Emerson Royale looks like he was on his way out, and he said, "I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you in Milan because Milan is fashion capital of Italy." And that's all he's thinking. I'm not coming to see you because you're my mate. I'm going there because maybe I can get Prada or I can get some other Italian label. It's all about the bling for him.
Yeah.
And until you can have all the bling you want when your career's done. Yeah. You're going to a massive fortune. You come from one of the poorest nations on earth, and the people are looking up to you, and you're throwing away your talent. They're throwing away your talent. And to be honest, I don't think it'll wash with Ange. I think Ange is going to say, "What are you doing to me here? You're mugging me off."
Yeah.
And I think, I tell you who had a great game on Saturday and looked to be back to his best, Bentancur.
Yeah.
Bentancur can play that 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't get.
We need him back.
Yeah, he doesn't get caught upfield on transition. He doesn't, look like he's blowing out of his arse when Neto's tearing down the wing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's I think I have to say I think he's if he's not done it, burnt his bridges, he's definitely in last chance saloon at Tottenham.
Yeah,
and of course it's now illegal. Nitrous oxide last year was made illegal. Yeah. You can face 2 years in prison. Yeah. And this brother is broadcasting on social media. Nice. Idiot. If he had brains, he would,
It's stupid. I don't like players that are not serious for me. And I don't care what you do in your spare time. But if, he didn't have a great season last season, what I want to be seeing is you training. Richarlison, we saw Richarlison back in Brazil training, trying to get himself, trying to recover from injury, trying to get back in shape. And for me, the people who do that, you can always tell a player by their fruits. The people who put in the work behind the scenes, you see it out on the pitch. That's what you see. Football is not rocket science. You put in the hard graft, and if you're talented, we see it out. We see it play out on the pitch. We have not seen the same Bissouma. We've not seen the Brighton Bissouma since Euro. I rated this brother ahead of Partey once upon a time. I can't say that. I can't speak with any chest and say to you Bissouma's better than Partey. But does he have the potential to be better than Partey? Of course he has. But is he showing it? He's never shown it. He's not showing it once.
This brother has Yaya Toure as his idol. Remember when Yaya was doing his training? I think there was a picture of them together. Can you imagine Yaya Toure being involved in something like that? Never in a month of Sundays. And yet he aspires to that kind of greatness. I'm absolutely shocked. For me, he would be gone. I'm sorry, you're gone. And, we'll just have to take the hit. It might affect us this season. But, I can't. He's supposed to be the big brother to Pape. I don't want him being a big brother to Pape. Pape's already seemed to have got a bit of the trainer fetish. I don't want him going down that road. So, I'm concerned. I have to say I'm concerned about Bissouma and his destabilising influence within that.
I think so. And I think he's destabilising Pape. I like Caleb's point here. He says at Leicester we'll see Lolo Sarr Madders, but I don't think this thing can go unpunished. I agree. I think Deki's going to push Madders. I think so. I think Deki starts ahead of Madders against Leicester next week, partly because Madders has just not been good pre-season at all. Decky's actually played well in the number 9. He got 2 goals and he deserves to start. But Solanke will start up top. I mean, we'll get into what we think the pre-match lineup will be based on. So let's do that now. Look, big up to everyone locked in, locked on. Make sure you smash a like. We're giving you the Spurs update, but we're also trying to unpick a load of things because there is a lot going on. There's a lot of things happening. Someone said, you're wrong, Deji. We needed to buy a new left back to make the defense even stronger. Anthony Clark, this is the point I was trying to make, my brother. Your defense was the best defense in the league. Also, Shiver Me Timbers was brought in to play, guess what, Sean? Left back. And he's back from injury, but these guys needed to bring in another left back to be strong. You man are crazy, but Anthony Clark, whatever, knock yourselves out. No disrespect, but if you man ain't about bringing in a striker, you man don't deserve to win the league. And I'll tell you this now, if Arsenal do not win the league this season, you man are done. You're done for. Saka leaves. If Saka doesn't leave, Saliba leaves, in my opinion. Because if they stay, they become like Kane. You know, how long are you going to stay at your club without a trophy? It starts to look really, really silly. Mr. Box Office, big up to you, my guy. I want this energy on Tuesday on Spurs Kings TV because you know Anji's walking at the end of the season. Truth hurts. I disagree with you, bro.
He's never walked from anywhere. He's never walked from anywhere. He works to the end of his contract and then he goes.
This Alex is a madman. To be honest with you, the 5-year plan, Alex, you already know. As long as he finishes 4th, he is fine. I don't care. We don't need a trophy. We just need to improve on where we were last season and we will be fine. Assembled says this. Quick question and then Sean will start to wrap up. Sorry, it's been a marathon one. But yeah, there's loads coming. Question, Dej. After Levy's investment, how long will your manager last without a trophy? Bro, Assembled, that is such a loaded question. I'm not laughing. I've already told you that we're expecting under Postecoglou, as long as there's no crazy things happen, like is Spurs have a disastrous season this season, I can see Postecoglou at my club for at least 5 seasons. And I reckon in the 5th season, he wins the Prem. 100%, I think Postecoglou wins the Premier League in 27-28. He's building the foundations now. So that's how long he lasts, a minimum of 5 years. There's no reason from what I've seen why he's going to last longer in the job than Arteta is going to last at Arsenal. I can tell you that one for free, man. I will shake my bum for that all day long. Artillero says he thinks that Sean, he thinks you're a better baller than Bissouma at this point. I agree. Sean is a better baller.
I was never as good a baller as Bissouma, but I'll tell you what, I would never, if I'd had a quarter of his talent, I wouldn't be throwing it away on the lifestyle.
I'm calling that Bissouma live on stream. I want to do 1v1 against this brother. If I finish this brother in the 1v1, can I get an opportunity to play a friendly or preseason or a behind-the-scenes match for my club? Because I will show more skill, more footballing IQ, and more passion than this brother will. And you don't have to pay me a single penny. Anyway, big up to everyone locked in, locked on. Steve in Citizen Deji is all excited. How cute. I am, bro. I am. Big up.
If you're not excited at the beginning of the season, why are you even bothering? It's like my good friend. What's the point? Honestly, I really think that he needs to get out more. He needs to touch grass. He needs to get out in the sunshine. I believe you've got plenty of sunshine down there. I don't understand why you want to be so negative. It's like you want to be proven right when things go wrong. Yeah. Well, why? Why? What's the whole purpose of that? There's enough crap going on in the world without wishing it on the thing that you're supposed to enjoy, which is following football.
Wanting to see your club be rubbish. Sava. It's mad. I've never seen anything quite like it. I will talk about Son briefly. Sean knows I've already said I didn't mind seeing Son go this season and during the summer transfer window, only because Son is getting old, and just like Kane, we didn't prepare for when they were to leave or for when they were to lose form, and that's why we need to be bringing in the Ezes of this world, the replacements from now, so they have a season to embed. Because even if Son has a good season this season, I'm not expecting to have a good season the following season. I mean, the brother's going to be 33 this year. That he's just not going to have it in his legs. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're going to play him number 9, but I don't want to see this brother in number 9. So for me, it's madness. I know these players are lasting longer, doing their thing longer, but we should be bringing in the successor to Son from now. So,
well, one thing we can say about Son, he won't be smoking hippie crack. His dad wouldn't allow him. You know what I mean? He's got better leadership and better morals. And
100%. But yes, I will be doing watch-alongs. I'm going to be active this year, peeps. I am going to be active. Man is going to be tearing up the timelines like that. It's going to be constant. So we're going to be doing it locked in, locked on. The people that helped me to put on the streams have been tearing my ear off. A brother called Toby, who is a disgraceful Manchester United fan, has been on my back. So rest assured, man will be in the building making sure we are streaming crazy. Sean, quickly, sorry I've kept you over the time, but big up to you. We needed to do this.
Yeah, there was lots to cover, and obviously the season's getting that little bit closer.
What does success look like for you?
Success, we stay in and around the top 4, and we go deeper in the cups. I would love you and I to be in Bilbao in May next year, whilst we take on anyone in the final. Man United have got a saying that they've got their name on that trophy. I'm laughing. My God.
Yeah, Man United, the disgraceful team. Look, for me, success looks like a progression. If it's good, I use this lyric that Arsenal fans, if it's good enough for Arsenal, it's good enough for us. If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. So the fact that Arsenal have given Arteta, this dusty brother, 5 seasons, and let's be real, they have shown progression. 8th, 5th, 2nd. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. I say we give Postecoglou time and he shows progression. Progression for me is Spurs finishing higher than last season. I will take 4th or up this season without a doubt. I'll bite your hand for it. Or I don't mind finishing 8th with the Europa League. But whatever happens this season, whatever side of the fence we want to fall on, we must be playing Champions League football next season. If we are not playing Champions League football, I don't know if it's good enough for me and if it's good enough for you. I'm not sure I can handle 2 8 finishes like these dusty Arsenal fans. If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. Provided we get Champions League. Sean.
Well, we've got 2 opportunities to do Champions League. We can win the Europa League, or we can finish in the top 4. Both of them are in our grasp. Both are in our grasp. Let's see what the transfer committee bring in the next couple of weeks, and let's see how. Let's see. I mean, as you know, we always aim high. We aim high, and someone there was asking me, preparing for a trophyless season. Do you know how many FA Cups I've seen us win? I'm 63, brother. I'm 63. I've seen a few trophies.
But finishing 4th is progress. I'm not going to say it's success. It's progress, and I think there is a space for progress. I don't know why people get hung up on trophies. Ask any Man U fan, would they regard last season as a successful season? No, it wasn't. They took 14 L's. They were dusty. I don't think any Man U fan could shake their bum for that. So for me, I don't want to see us as dusty as Man United. Finishing 4th is progress. And at the moment, Postecoglou is building. And if we believe he's building, as long as we're improving, then he's building, no? That's the logic that Arsenal fans are. That's the logic that Artillero is using, sitting there in his underwear, bashing away at the keyboard is using to justify Arteta in the job. They are improving, but unfortunately for you, my brother, Arteta's run out of space, because if they don't win the league, he's dusty. He has to lose his job, because how many times are you going to finish second with no trophy? Do you know what I'm saying? And how long is Saliba going to wait around? Saliba's French. He don't give a damn about Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? In the sense of he's not loyal and he doesn't feel like he owes the club anything. You know what I'm saying? Neither does Gabriel Morales. He's from bloody the favelas in Brazil. He don't owe Arsenal nothing. So you guys sitting there shaking your bum, the players who would have been loyal to your club, you're bloody getting rid of. Emil Smith-Rowe and Kitty Catty, yeah, them guys would have died for the badge. But these brothers are just getting paid. So don't be shaking your bum like you got players that are going to stick around in this mess. They're not sticking around. No way. They're not doing that. But anyway, big up. Look, everyone, thank you for joining in, locked on. It was a quick Spurs update. Spurs have brought in Solanke. I'm hoping Solanke can do his thing. As for me, I love Naruto. I love all of that stuff. So if he can just catch in some of that Hokage kind of vibes from Japan and eat some ramen, you know what I mean, and get them balls going in, then what a signing he is for our club. So let's back Solanke. However, we need to bring in an Eze. We need to bring in another big boy name. No idiot names. None of this players we don't understand. Danny Rose settings. We need another player to make this transfer window decent. Arsenal fans shaking their bum for Calamari. They just need to hush their gums. Your transfer window is rubbish. And I will tell that to your face. Sean, what have you got coming up? Because obviously things are coming back to normal, thank God. What have you got coming up?
Yeah, well, we'll probably on PRTV Spurs, because it's now just PRTV Spurs. The Paxton Road is that moniker's gone. We'll have no doubt we'll have a season preview come Friday, maybe. There'll be talking points. There's a lot of unrest in the fan base. People getting, losing their shit over this and nothing. I'm there trying to provide a bit of calm, obviously we do that. You want the best for your club, but I'm not who owns the club doesn't twist me day in and day out. You know what I mean? What twists me is who's in the team, who's available, who we're gonna get.
Yeah, 100%. And for me, that's it. It's about who we're going to get, who we're going to bring in, who we're going to start. And to me, I don't really give a damn. All this stuff that we've been talking about is a lot of bloody hot air. I don't care. I just want to go out and beat Leicester next week, Monday. That's what I want to do. I want to beat Leicester and beat Everton and have 6 points on the board straight off the bat. I don't give a damn if people even tell me you did that last season. I don't care. I just want to see 3 points straight away. I want to have maximum points by the time we play the scum. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. Maximum points by the time we play Newcastle and Arsenal. Let's do it. I'm looking forward to that. Big up, everyone. I am going to be potentially doing another stream later called The Blueprint, where I'm going to probably give predictions for the next 4 games. I will let you guys know about that. Sean, I'll let you know about that as well. It'd be good to get Arthur in, Zeus, the Mandem, Chris as well. We'll give our predictions as well. That will be good. You'll catch me on Spurs King TV tomorrow, chopping up the rivals on Wednesday. I'll be on Dan Potts. I'll be on Dan Potts later on tonight for the race to Europe. Because, yes, my club is in Europe this year, whether you like it or not. So, yeah, man's going to be doing about 15 bloody streams. You're going to get enough of Deadly Spurs all this year. And, yeah, let's see what happens. But Sean, thank you. Everyone, thank you for showing love. Thank you for tuning in. It was a little bit earlier today, but sometimes we just got to do these streams when we can. Big up to Oregon Guna showing love. Early doors as well. Big up to you, Tone, for showing love. Artillero, despite all your madness in the chats, I actually do appreciate you. It's just a shame you're an Arsenal fan. And on that note, we are out. Thank you very much.